Ultrasonic anti-fouling systems. Probably the most contentious thing I've been involved with. This video shows the installation of a system on Zephyr 4 in 2024, and this one showed the results in 2025. The comments are very varied and interesting. Seaflo, a Chinese company who also make an ultrasonic anti-fouling system, saw my videos and asked me if I would evaluate their version. I told them I would, and a few weeks later this box arrived, and inside is the Seaflo ultrasonic system.
Ultrasonic anti-fouling system. Here's what you get. Here's the actual control unit, and the connectors are all screw-in types. These are really nice. I'll take one off so you can see. There we go. So there's a little 2-pin plug, and here's one of the leads, and the plug just screws in there. And then there's the 4 transducers, quite chunky things, very solid, and they need to be glued with epoxy into the hull. And then you get four cables, 1, 2, 3, 4 for the 4 transducers, and a couple of extra ones over here, which are extension cables, which I think will be very, very convenient. The instructions are fairly minimal, but pretty easy to follow, and in very good English.
It didn't seem sensible to remove the system from my boat and replace it with the Seaflo system, so I put the word around the marina that I was looking for a willing boat owner to try the Seaflo anti-fouling system. Derek, on high spirits, a Sun Odyssey 35, said he would be willing to try it, and I delivered the box of electronics to him. He took the installation very seriously.
That's the basic plan of the boat. I've marked with little pencil marks 1, 2, 3 transducer positions, which I've worked out give the appropriate wetted area coverage in each case. This area here looks to me very suitable because it's solid, it's smooth, and it's fairly central. So
yeah, so it'll just drop on.
The plan is to put the transducer probably somewhere like that. Underneath the units, hopefully.
And then the wiring goes off.
Goes off
under there.
Now the transducer location, I had considered, putting it here. Again, it's a solid. It's solid to the hull. It's ahead of the keel, and again, that's an eminently good position. I've just got to figure out how to put the cable through.
The third transducer is mounted under the aft cabin, fairly close to the propeller shaft, and the fourth is actually glued to the gearbox, so should protect the propeller.
The main control unit is in this wardrobe here.
Well, it's all installed now and working, so I had a chat with Derek to get his impressions. So what's your overall impression of the Seaflo anti-fouling system then, Derek?
My first impression was very favourable, starting with the box and the packing of it. I thought that was excellent. The box was very clear. The quality, first impressions, was excellent. Everything appeared well made, well finished. The instructions, although they were minimal, were actually very clear and easy to follow. So my overall impression was it's a bit of quality kit that I'm happy to use.
Good, that's great. So the transducers, do you think they're up to their job?
As far as I can tell, yes. They're certainly very solid. They're quite heavy. They're very well made. They have certainly not flimsy. They are very well put together, and the cable connections I'm impressed by because they're waterproof. They have O-rings inside, and the actual separate units have caps on initially, which obviously you remove when you connect the cable. Yep. But the cable connection produces a good watertight link, I think. Right. Yeah. So overall, again, good quality.
I noticed that there were extension cables there. Did you actually get round to using them, or were they?
I did use one, right. Yes. My only comment regarding the cables is the plugs, although they are waterproof and very well made, they are quite bulky.
Yeah.
So to thread them through this boat to
Yes.
where I wanted them to go, it was quite a tortuous route. And in fact, what I did was I cut a cable to take the plug off, so I could then snake the wire through, which was easy.
Right.
And then I soldered the plug back on to the end of the cable again. So I didn't actually shorten any of the cables, but I did use one of the extensions, in that way.
You've managed to get it. You managed to get it connected up to 12 volts.
Yeah.
But I understand that you've also got the facility to run it off the mains effectively.
Well, it's running on. It's basically wired directly to the battery bank, which is fed by the battery charger all the time the boat's on its berth. So effectively, the battery charger is providing the current that's operating the system when it's on its berth. Yeah. Right. When it's away from its berth, it would run off the battery.
The battery itself.
And that would be my only comment. Is it's quite power hungry.
Right. So how
much? More than I expected. I think it's drawing. It's very hard because it's pulsing all the time, but it's certainly drawing more than an amp. And I would say about 1.4 amps would be my judgment of the average consumption. So it's not inconsiderable, put it that way. It's something to bear in mind.
Perhaps more than we expected.
Well, on a small battery, I mean, I've got a big battery bank. I've got nearly 300 ampere hours of battery.
Right.
But if you had much less than that, I think you'd have to be aware of what's happening.
Right. The question here was, what would you change if there was anything you thought you ought to change?
Well, the power consumption, one.
Power consumption, yes.
If that was a possibility, which I suspect it isn't. No, because the quality was good. I mean, I could say let's have smaller connectors, but I suspect if you had smaller connectors, you'd use the quality of the connection, the waterproof connection.
It wouldn't be so strong, would it? And
no, it is strong and robust, and they use decent size cable. There's nothing flimsy or there's no sign of shortcutting to save money, for example.
Yeah, I've actually looked inside the control unit. It's beautifully made.
Yes.
And there is actually a 5 amp fuse actually inside the control unit.
Is that? Okay.
So that's a safety factor,
that is
really.
Good. Yeah.
That was one of my first things.
Yes.
Good. Well, I suppose we've now got to wait a year at least until we get a result, because you're thinking of having. I don't think it's going to do very much as it stands at the moment.
Probably not. I mean, the boat's been in the water. So it was last launched 12 months ago. So it's been in the water for 12 months. It will come out this coming winter, probably after Christmas.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see.
And then we'll start again then, won't we?
Yeah, yes, you would start from scratch. And I mean, Seaflo do quite adamantly say that you really want to have it running from the minute you put the boat in the water. And if you look at my video about how ultrasonic anti-fouling works, then you can see that as soon as the boat goes in the water, those bacteria get on there and start producing the slime.
I'm aware of that. I'm not expecting great results now until the boat's been
Well, that's good. Thank you very much for that, Derek. Well, this will be going up on YouTube shortly, and hopefully Seaflo will be happy with it, because they did send us a free version, or a free one. They sent us a free one, so that we could evaluate it, and we've done our best up to now anyway.
Absolute best. I'm very hopeful.
We're a few months on now. It's late April 2026 and Derek is bringing high spirits round to Victoria Quay to be lifted out, and soon we'll be able to see if the Seaflo ultrasonic anti-fouling system has had any effect on the weed growth on the boat's bottom. Well, there's no hanging weed on the hull apart from a little hanging off the bottom of the keel. No sign of barnacles anywhere either.
It wipes off.
There's quite a thick layer of slime overall, but it's quite easy to wipe it off with a bit of rag. Derek thinks she looks a bit cleaner than usual. I can't comment really.
Oh, wow.
So what's the anti-fouling then, Derek?
Micron 350.
Okay. So this is Derek's boat, just been anti-fouled. So this will be our reference when he comes out next time to see whether this ultrasonic anti-fouling actually works or not.
The real test will be when she comes out next time, when the Seaflo ultrasonic anti-fouling system will have been operational from the moment the boat goes back into the water. Hopefully I'll be around for that and we can create a follow-up video. That's it for now. Thank you Seaflo for the evaluation unit. Thank you for watching, and if you like this sort of video, please like and subscribe. Share with your friends too. Bye for now.